Hello, everyone. Here we are again. Let me know if you can hear me, if all this stuff sounds okay. I don't hear the echo that I had last week, but let me know if it shows up. Oh, nope, there it is. Sure enough, every time. Oh well. I can hear it, but I don't know if you can hear it, so let me know if it shows up for you. Hello, Rin. Hello, Renee, Ryan. Renee, is this a poem you wrote? Popular and perfect and so complete in every way. I love you, eggs. Oh, I'm not reading that, Renee. That's too much. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, I'm kind of on this quest to become better at drawing the human figure, and so I decided I'd start with the whole skeleton, being able to draw it from memory, and with that, I figured I'd start with the skull. So a couple months ago, I started with this guy, and then I've just been kind of working through and hopefully progressing, drawing all of these from memory, and then this is the one I did last week. And today, I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently. Before, I was kind of doing them all in the same or similar pose. And this time, I'm going to try to do a front view, a side view, a top view, and an underside view, which is damn near impossible to draw, but I'm going to give it a shot. So it's a little different for me. Oh, and my goal is to be able to name all 22 of the bones of the skull, which I don't think is, well, it shouldn't be too hard. All right, no echo. That's good to hear. Question, what did you have for dinner? I had Los Reyes. What's this? Restaurant down the street in downtown Claremont. Question, what are your favorite animated movies, shows for artwork? Oh man, there's a lot of questions off the bat. Favorite animated movies or shows for artwork? I don't know. I don't know. Favorite animated movies. Ryan, I like Coco. That was a good movie. Underside sounds scary. Let's do it. Yeah, I agree. I planned on like studying all of this stuff all week, and then things happened and I didn't study or learn as much as I would have liked, but we'll see. I tried to like cram a bunch of studying into today, so we'll see if that helps. But there's also nothing to compare this week to this week with. So it's not like I've done these views better before, and this week will be worse. So Dan, are you not a cartoon watcher? I like cartoons. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of anything recently. Doesn't mean I don't like cartoons or animated things. I don't know. I feel on the spot, and I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong show. I don't know. Have you guys seen any good animated shows recently? Question, favorite bone in the skull? I'm going to go with the frontal bone, which is this whole thing. Just because it's kind of crazy. I think, okay, so I think my plan is to get all of these in here. I'm going too slow. I'm going to get all of these in here pretty quickly, and then I'll go back, tighten them up, and name all the bones. And if I get any wrong, you can yell at me for it. So this should be, or shouldn't take me too long, I think, to get them all roughed in. And I'm not going to be worried about perfect teeth this week either. But just a general shape of everything. The eyes are a bit big. Where do you hide your skull model when drawing from memory? It is in my my closet over there. Have I ever broken a bone? I've never broken a bone, actually. And I'm always afraid to say that because I feel like if I keep saying that, I'm going to start breaking bones. But no, I've never broken a bone, which is really crazy because I feel like I really should have broken a bone by now. Okay, none of that looks quite right to me. I can always come back to him. All right, so now it's the side view. I've been binge watching Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Rebels. Those are good. Have you seen any of the studio? Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? Because I really want to say Ghibli, but I feel like I keep hearing people say Ghibli. Studio Ghibli films. Yes, I have seen the Studio Ghibli films. And yes, the backgrounds are beautiful. Steve says, hey, what's today's plan? All right, Steve. And anyone who's late to the party, my plan is to... Oh, and I should probably turn those other skulls off, shouldn't I? There we go. My plan is to draw a front view, a side view, a top view, and an underside view of the skull. And then I'm going to try to name all the 22 bones of the skull and see if I have successfully memorized them, which it should, I don't think it should be that hard because I feel like most people, uh-oh, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Oh, I don't like those teeth anyway. I feel like most people probably already know all of their skull bones. I didn't, and possibly still don't, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you know all your skull bones? I don't know. He's drawing the skull from a bunch of angles. Yes. I think it's Ghibli. Yeah, it's Ghibli. Yeah. But Ghibli just... All right, I'll say Ghibli from now on, even though I don't know about that. Okay, I'll come back to him. He looks weird, but oh well. All right, so I'm trying to remember. It goes in at the top of the nasal bone, goes out from the center line, and then it goes back behind the center line, and then it goes ahead of the center line. And then the teeth line up just about with the nasal bone, about halfway down. And then this line, nope, 200. So about like that. And then it goes back in, back down. Nope, that don't look right. That looks very strange, but well. Sleepy Milo tick. I don't know all my skull bones. Oh, I know orbital bone. Wait, orbital bone. Mandible, yes, good job. Yeah, that's the mandible. Oh, wait. Rin, you can't. Rin says, I just Googled it, and orbital bone is a general term, and there are 7 specific bones of that area. Yeah, don't tell me anymore, because then I'm going to feel like I'm cheating or something. So, for everyone in the chat who's way smarter than me and knows all this stuff, don't say it yet. At the end, you can tell me how wrong I am, but I'm going to try to do this from memory, and I feel like I'll be too tempted to use all of your genius knowledge to help me. So Rin, you're too smart. Tooth bone. And then Renee, later, maybe I'll try to put all of these eggs in boxes like you requested. Because who cares if you can draw plan views like this? We need to see it in like a cooler angle or something. Okay, this guy looks stupid. I'm destroying his face. I think it's just that his eyes are too big or something. I think that's a little better. Yeah, he looks dumb. Mess him up. He does look dumb. Maybe if we gave him like some glasses or something, you know. There you go. Or no, he definitely needs like a monocle or something. I don't know where the strap would go for the monocle. Okay, moving on. Yes, box them up. Yeah, I'll try boxing them up. Boxing them up at the end. How many eggs do you think we can fit? What, in a single box? You can probably fit a... I don't know. We'll see at the end. These new views are fun. The secrets inside the... Oh, okay. You care. These new views are fun. The secrets inside the boxes. Yeah, he looks... Oh, I already read that. Wow, Dan's a bully. Am I... Wait, when was I a bully? Because I messed up the skeleton guy? Shove that skull in a locker. Give him a pipe. Yeah, he probably needs a pipe. I feel like if I was a skull, I would be smoking a pipe. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but it just seems like the right thing to do. And what else are you going to do if you're a skull? Okay, moving on to the harder ones. These, well, the front view shouldn't be that bad, mostly because I'm just going to sort of fudge it. And the general shape to keep in mind when drawing the top view is, it's like this. And then a little curve, and then a little curve. Except, like, draw it well. But that's like the general view of the front. I mean the top. So if you can remember that, you can draw a skull from the very top. But this is where it gets kind of weird. And it's so weird because as I've been drawing these, and I haven't drawn them that much this week, like I should have been, but as I've started learning these other views, like the really extreme ones, like a top angle or a bottom angle, you start to see it, like in people and in, I don't know, TV shows or pictures or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I can't really explain it. You start recognizing, like, oh, that's that shape that I studied, and it's weird that I know what their skull would look like. It's kind of creepy. All right, so this is the weird part because you can actually see the cheekbone come out of the side. And it's very strange. And maybe it doesn't come out quite that far, but just so we sort of know it's there. And there's the little nasal bone, and then the frontal bone comes out about right there, and I'll draw it's a little bit better later. And then the occipital bone. Or wait, nope. Something like that. Come back to that. All right, so there's the top view. And now for the underside view. Good thing we don't have these things inside us right now. Yeah. It would be very creepy if we all had skulls. And the smoke can come out of your eye sockets. Okay. Okay, so that guy's pretty creepy. A push pop. Where did you get push pop, Ren? And yeah, start staring at the tops of people's heads. Well, go look at the top of someone's head and see if they're shaped anything like that. Of course, you know, they'll have like ears and stuff because people have ears and hair and everything. But if you stood looking at the top of someone's head, you should be able to see their forehead come out like this, their nose. You might be able to see their teeth a little bit right here. Their little brow ridge turning around, and then their cheeks on either side. And depending on where you are, you may see very little, or depending on their skull shape, you might see a bit more. But that's the basic shape of their head, probably. And if it's not, let me know so I can change the way I draw skulls. But it's just, I don't know. It's weird to learn about these things. Things that you've been looking at your entire life. never thought that much about. All right, let's take a break. You're zooming in through these. What are you going to do after you get each one roughed in? I'm going to try to put them into perspective. So we got to combine them all into a box. We got to put the eggs in the box. So, and that's the hard part, is being able to think of all of these while you draw one skull. So that's the plan. All right. I hate this stupid view. And if you think that I'm just whining, you try drawing a skull from this angle. It's not so easy. I just drew that backwards. This is where the spinal cord goes in. What should drink in? A girl drink, a Bud Light, seltzer, mango. What are you drinking, Renee? Yeah, there's no whining in art. Well, then I must not be an artist because I do a lot of whining. Okay, things to remember when drawing this angle. First off, the cheekbones look crazy because you can see them, and if you're looking at it, you have the jaw or the mandible, which comes at you from here to here, and then it turns and is almost never mind. Trying to use big words and failing. It is whatever. It's vertical to your line of sight. So it runs that way. And you can see the teeth, the bottom teeth sticking out on the top, and sometimes if they have a slight overbite, you can see the top teeth. I know this doesn't make any sense, and maybe I can clean it up a little bit, but so this is the jaw in some kind of shape that doesn't make any sense. Okay, and then the cheekbones. So the jaw connects right here. This weird T shape kind of thing, or triangle. And then you can see both the sort of bottom plane of that and the top facing plane. So it turns down right there. It's really weird. This, what you're seeing is the roof of your mouth, which is real weird. And it's not even. And then something like, oh, and then we got to add the mastoid process here. Mountain Dew Zero. Oh man, I haven't had Mountain Dew since I think I was in middle school. Yeah, I'm scared too, and I don't like this view either. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Like, you're looking at it and you're like, wow, this guy is an idiot. Or maybe that's just what I'm thinking because it doesn't make any sense to me. But other things to remember. This is the occipital condyles, that thing. And then, Okay, so it's sort of important that I even hint at this area because it's the vomer bone, and I can't get my points if I don't get all my bones, so I have to make sure I get that right. I'm going to try to clean this up, but I don't really know how. Something about something. Okay, so I don't know this angle very well. It's just the truth. I don't know it very well. Yeah, I don't know. That's not even going to make any sense to anyone. So even if I drew it right, it wouldn't look right. But I'm definitely not drawing it right, so oh. Use orbit. Okay, so now that I have everything sort of roughed in, should probably go fix these up. Yeah, clean it up. Let's clean it up. Okay. I want to keep him doing what he does best, which is smoking. Okay. Cleanup time. It reminds you of the underneath of that sand crab thing. Oh, like, yeah. The horseshoe crabs. Yeah, those things are hella creepy. Okay. Let's see if we can clean this up a bit. That's the wrong name. It wasn't a horseshoe crab. Oh, wait. Was I right or wrong? Skulls look way more oblong and less orby than I thought they would. Okay, that could just mean that I'm drawing them very wrong. But yeah, the top view. This might be a little too narrow. But okay, I'm just going to cheat real quick because I don't want to spend all my time. Nope, that don't work. Nope, whatever. I don't know, Rin. It could be wrong. I'll look it up later. Or we can compare with my real skull, or my replica skull. It's totally not real. At the end. And see how off I am. I don't really remember exactly what happens here. Oh, horseshoe crab is right. Sand crab was wrong. Okay. Don't you want to make a Cyclops from side perspective skull? He basically, well, he technically is a Cyclops, right? I wonder what a Cyclops would... Cyclops skull. That would be funny. Let's see. Maybe like a mini Cyclops, you know? It's like a tiny nose. Yeah, here we go. A mini Cyclops. And we can try putting him in perspective later. I think it's a Cyclops. That's okay. She says, maybe I'm just used to looking at baby skulls. That's really creepy. So, yeah. Okay. I'm glad that you caught on to how creepy that was, Renee. All right, I need to focus a little bit, or I'm never going to finish this. I did notice on my replica skull that this, I think it's the nasal concha or something, is like sort of warped. In fact, the whole head kind of like twists, almost like it's melted a little bit or something. It's really weird. And I've also read that everyone has like one eye that's lower, and the mouth shape actually kind of goes up on that end, so it's almost like instead of a perfect triangle like everyone thinks we have, I'm totally not explaining this well, but it's not that extreme, but almost everyone is sort of shaped like that, except just barely. And it is the case with the skull that I have. I mean, like, very subtly, but pretty much everyone has that. Once you learn the human skull, next could be the Cyclops. Yeah, I don't know if there's been a whole lot of literature written on the Cyclops skull. Maybe I could write the next book on the Cyclops. Question, did you draw non-skull things since last week? Yes, actually, which is part of the reason why I slacked off this week, because I started getting excited about something that I'm working on now, that if I ever finish it, well, okay, that makes it sound like it's too exciting. I'm working on a personal piece, which I hate that term, but I'm working on a piece of art that I'm kind of excited about. I haven't gotten very far, but that's one of the reasons why I haven't. It actually has a skull in it, so I guess that doesn't really count, but it definitely distracted from my studies. But no, I don't have it with me right here, but I have a sketchbook that usually I go through a sketchbook about every 2 months or so. I mean, it's not a big sketchbook, but every 2 or 3 months I'll make it through a sketchbook. And usually it consists of all kinds of things because I'm always jumping around trying to learn a million different things. But over the last month or so, it's been only skulls. I think there's like 2 other things in there, but it's just been only skulls. Because I've been very happy to focus on one thing. It's been kind of cool because I've never really done this before. Like spent this much time on a single object. And I think it's kind of working in the way that I'm finding I'm not just learning about the skull, but I'm also finding a lot of things about the way that I draw as well. So it's kind of been really educational for me, and I'm enjoying it. Also, being put on the spot like this is kind of adds to the pressure to learn. Question, no, I already answered that. Because you can't see my skull as long as I live, and after I die, I won't care. Does that mean that you're a Cyclops? Mateo says, hey, how's it going? How's it going, Mateo? Question, have you drawn Whiskey or Willow? I have drawn them, actually. I don't draw them as much as I should, but yes, I have drawn them. They move a lot. I don't know if you've ever noticed that about a pet, but they like to move a lot, even when they're sleeping. But yeah, I've drawn a couple drawings of them that I like a lot, where they didn't move so much. What medium? You mean what medium did I draw them in? Or what sketchbook? In the sketchbook, I just use colored pencils, and typically just one colored pencil. Like blue, I had one sketchbook where I just did everything in like a brown colored pencils. I like using colored pencils in the sketchbook because you can't get too finicky about them, and you can't erase too much. Kind of just seems like punishment, but I like the colored pencils in the moleskin sketchbooks. They just feel nice on the paper. I should get them a toy skull. They've tried to take my replica and my other little model. They've definitely tried. I wanted to know what medium your personal piece is going to be, but I wanted to know it too. I think I'm going to try to do it in oils. I think I'm going to do an oil painting, which seems insane, and maybe that means it'll never get done. But I have not successfully completed like an oil painting not totally true. I've done a few oil paintings since I've gotten my job that I work at now, but it's extremely difficult for me to pull off a oil painting while working full time. It's very hard. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. If I talk about it too much, I'll probably never do it. But I think it'd be fun. Hey, if you mirror it and put together, and its nose would make an eye socket, and you could use the big eyes to look like you. Where do you do your oil paintings without dying? Oh, you mean like how do I get proper ventilation? I don't. In fact, one time I'm pretty sure I almost died from oil paints. I was using kerosene to clean my brushes, and this was like right when I first started. I think I actually told you about this one time, but yeah, I used so much of it. I was using it like watercolor. That the whole room just sort of filled up with kerosene fumes, and it was, I remember feeling so bad after a while. I just like sat there thinking I was gonna die with my head out the window trying to breathe some fresh air. That was kind of scary, actually. So I still use kerosene to clean my brushes, but I'm not so much of an idiot anymore. You have to close it back up when you're not using it, and don't use so much of it. Oh, we definitely got to clean this guy up a little bit. I like him. He's kind of funny. Yeah, I know. Yeah, usually when I'm doing an oil painting, well, any oil painting I've done in the last few years has been in plein air, so it's been outside usually. And if it's not, I use gamsol, which is odorless, although it's probably still toxic, so maybe it doesn't feel like it'll kill me. So that's better, right? You can't smell gamsol, odorless mineral spirits. So it doesn't feel toxic. And I think it is less toxic than, like, I don't know, other stuff. Don't worry, Ren, I don't do much oil painting anymore, so it doesn't matter. Question, did you go to school for art? I did not. I did not go to school for art. I taught my own self. So, yeah. That's why I'm having to learn how to draw a skull at 31 years old, whereas everyone else who went to art school probably learned this first year. So, there's that. But no, did not go to art school. Did you make a big mirrored Cyclops? I did not. I only made this little Cyclops. I'm gonna... Yeah. Maybe a mirrored Cyclops some other time. I wish you wouldn't have made that sad face, because now I feel bad for not making a mirrored Cyclops. Make a big brother for the small one. Alright, maybe later I'll make a big one. Gamsol is also reusable and non-toxic when used as recommended. Okay, yeah, good. See, I'm safe. Gamsol's fine to use. And once again, I hardly ever get to use it, so don't worry about that. This jaw does not look good. I think it's because I keep blabbering on about things when I'm drawing it. Oh well. Sure, it's fine. Okay, I don't even really feel the need to clean these up because I can't really clean them up that much. I mean, yeah, these squiggles, if they need to look more realistic, sure, there you go. All right, let's get to name and bones. Favorite gas station snack? Banana. Sometimes they sell bananas. So, a banana. You should feel bad for not making a big mirrored Cyclops. You're breaking the small Cyclops' heart, you know. Alright. Oops. Here. Let's see, how do I do this? I'm not totally sure if this is what you meant, but in fact, let's knock out one of his teeth, or a few of them. Oh, that's his eyeball. You can hardly tell. Let's make his eye a bit bigger than that. Alright, there's your other Cyclops. I'm going to make him a little smaller. We'll put the two Cyclopses over here. Well, no, he can stay there. The big brother's not as cool, I don't think. Okay, back to this. Bones of the Skull by Daniel. Oh, wow, man, there's a lot of comments. Also, the squiggles remind me of the scene in My Girl. I don't know what that is. That tells you a lot about a person. Dan, this looks like a textbook cover. It kind of does, doesn't it? Oh, and that's the book. Bones of the Skull by Daniel New. Yeah, it's coming out next year. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Okay, Steve, I'm not totally sure. Put an eye into the nose. All right, I think I've failed the Cyclops thing, so I'm just going to continue with this. When I was a teen, I used to get the frozen burritos that you had to microwave at the gas station. Yeah. Oh, I kind of used to get those too. Okay. Bone naming time. Let's see. There's 22, right? So there's the Zygomatic, which is right here. That's what this thing is. There's the maxillae bones, which are fused to form the maxilla, which is this whole thing. So that whole thing is the maxilla. Or maxilla, I don't know how the hell you say it. So that counts as 2. Zygomatic counts as 2. Sorry, 2. And then we got the mandible. That's just 1. Obviously, everybody knows that. That's the jawbone. That's this thing. And that includes all the bottom. Well, I don't think it includes the bottom teeth, but it's this whole thing. So the mandible. And then you have 2 nasal bones. So the nasal bone. I'll just put nasal. There's 2 of those. And that's this and this. They kind of fuse to make 1, but it's actually 2 bones. In My Girl, the movie, they find a bust skull thing that showed parts of the head. I have not seen that. Yeah, zygomatic's a fun word. Sounds fancy, like a zygomatic arch, blah, blah, blah. Just sounds fancy. Let's keep going. So, nasal bone is 2. Of course, you have the frontal bone, only 1 of those. That's what this... I did not know that the frontal bone ended like this. But it's this whole thing. It cuts off right here, which is really strange. It's like half of your eye socket belongs to the frontal bone. So that's weird. Frontal bone, only 1 of those. And then there's 2 temporal bones. And that is this whole thing. Also a weird shaped one because it has half of this. What you would think would be 1 bone is actually half of the temporal. And it includes the auditory canal and the mastoid process. And there's 2 of those, 1 on each side. So there's 2 of those. I didn't really think about how we would do this, but oh well, I'll keep going. Occipital bone. And that is right here. I think that's right. It comes up to about right there. And it ends. It takes up quite a bit of room on the base of the skull. Something like that. I don't remember. But it's something like that. I need to go learn that. So that's the occipital bone, and that covers the occipital lobe in your brain, I believe. It would make sense, right? 2 parietal. So there's 2 parietal bones, and that is this one, and on the other side. So this and this. Slim Jim Slurpee, that's good, from the gas station. The Zygomatic, newest appliance for your skull. Nice one, Ryan. That was very funny. Oh god, that was terrible. Yes, the Zygomatic. Next time you get in a fight, say, I'm going to punch you in your maxilla. I will say that. So, don't fight me. You hit your occipital bone a lot. You should be really careful because your brain's in there and it could get hurt. All right, 2 parietal bones. What do we got next? Okay, we have some of the weird ones. The 3 weird ones that I did not know, so I'm guessing most of you also don't know, is the lacrimal, which is this one. It's real small. Oh, there's 2 lacrimals, actually. And it's this right here on either side. And you can kind of see it in a front view. It's right there and right there. And I was having trouble with this when I was drawing the 3/4 views. I wasn't really sure how to do the inside of the orbit. And I still haven't totally learned that. But knowing these little bones helps get all the little cracks and stuff right inside of the orbit. So this is the lacrimal. And then the one right next to that. One right next to that is the ethmoid bone. And is there one of those or 2 of those? I think there's only one. So I think there's only one ethmoid bone. So it's sort of like this box or something. We're going to go with that. You really dig the way I write? Yeah, I know it's messy. I feel like that's sarcastic. Oh, Alex, you're sitting there feeling all these imaginary lines in your skull. Yeah, it's weird because now when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, my superciliary arches are strange or something. That's this part, which I didn't draw. Thank you, Alex, for reminding me. But there's like, actually they're too big, I think. But it's not a bone, but it's the supraorbital eminence or something. So that's what that is. Just kind of comes forward like that. Or the, also known as the superciliary arches. Yeah. And I believe mucus is stored there, which is kind of gross. So there you go. Ethmoid bone right there. And then, what's next? Oh, the vomer bone. Never heard of the vomer bone before, but it's like, it's this thing right there. And I know you can hardly tell what's going on right there. I don't really know what's going on there, but the vomer bone is right there. It's like in the middle of your nasal passage. So, vomer bone. And then your palatine, I believe it's pronounced palatine. Palatine? I don't know. Palatine. And there's 2 of those. And that's, nope. That is, it's shaped something like that. And it's on the back of the underside of your maxilla or maxilla. Steve says, I think you improved a lot in teeth. Thank you. I hope I did, because they were really bad at the beginning. Feels more natural every stream. Well, thank you. Do you have any mean things to say? Because mean things will help me learn. But I really appreciate nice things too. Well, superciliary archers. Yes, they're called superciliary arches. Superciliary arches. I think. Feel free to look that up. It is superciliary arches, I believe. Quick Google search should show you what that is, but it's like the passage is right there where, like, I don't know, I think mucus is stored or something gross like that. Yeah, mucus is stored in the bone. Superciliary. Yes, exactly. Okay, what are we at? What did the Palatine? Oh, the other two are the let me just take a drink. The nasal concha or concha or something. So the two, and there's actually a bunch of nasal bones that look really weird and run through here. But I'm just saying or the thing that I was looking at says two nasal concha. So let's see. Do I have them all? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, maybe there's 2 ethmoid bones. Because I said there's 22 bones, right? Should be all of them. So maybe there's 2 ethmoid bones. All right, I'm just going to say there's 2 ethmoid bones. But if someone looks that up and I'm wrong, then I failed. Unless I just counted everything wrong. Oh, no, I think I just counted wrong. Okay, I think I got them all. Nope. Yeah, there must be 2 ethmoid bones. All right, I'm pretty sure no one cares about that anyway. I feel like there are doctors out there that likely know less about the skull than you, and that's pretty cool knowledge to have. Oh, Alex, no way. I just memorized 22 bones. I don't think there's any doctors that don't know the bones of the skull. And if there are, then that's really scary. So, but thank you. Only 1 ethmoid. Well, what the hell, Renee? What am I getting wrong? Where's the other bone? 2 zygomatic bones. 2 maxillae, which make up the maxilla. So 2 zygomatic, 2 maxilla. Mandible, it's nasal bone, it's 2 of them. The frontal bone, 2 temporal bones. The occipital bone, only 1 of those. 2 parietal bones. 2 lacrimal bones. The ethmoid, the vomer, the palatine bones, there's 2 of those. 2 nasal concha. Oh. No. I'm completely lost. I don't think there's any more. No, the superciliary arches are not technically a bone. They're just a part of the frontal bone. I don't know what I'm missing, but I feel like maybe I'm just miscounting something. But I think I got them all. There's also a bunch of other... Alex, please quiz the oncology docs and let me know. Honestly, I think I have them all. I just miscounted. There's some other things that I know, but they're not bones. This is the mastoid process. This is the styloid process. So many doctors are specialists. I quizzed a bunch of doctors about anatomy while stretching them, and a lot of them don't remember certain muscles. Yeah, but this is like basic knowledge, I think. I mean, maybe they couldn't draw it, but I'm having trouble with that too, so. All right, let's, just for the fun of it, let's see if I can put some of these eggs into boxes. I'll try to just keep it kind of loose. All right, so basically what we're doing is throwing all of these views into one thing. And we'll see how it goes, because it's kind of hard to think like this. Oh, you counted 22 on my list? Okay, thank you. All right, thank God. I just can't count to 22. That's my problem. So I'm okay with that. Or thank you for lying. That makes me feel better. Okay, let's get to drawing. So now I'm going to try to think of this side view in perspective. I know it doesn't go all the way to that center line. And this don't have to be perfect, so. But the forehead kind of does that. Nasal bone comes out, goes back in, out. Teeth go forward, bottom teeth go back, chin goes down, and then back, and then halfway along this line is the mandible, and then that angle like that, and then something like that, somewhat of a circle or something. Okay, so that's sort of like the silhouette of this guy. And then for this guy, ooh, this gets hard quick. This is, let's see. Let's get the big things in first. I don't know why I went straight to the nasal passage. Okay, widest point be right there. Right there. The orbits, kind of like that. This is a really weird way of thinking about it. But it's kind of what you have to do naturally in order to be able to draw things really well. Starting to look like something though, right? I think. It doesn't have to look good, it just has to look like a skull. And then if I can kind of keep like these two in mind, how that skull gets bigger as it goes back. Oh, my brain hurts. counted all the 2s and then 1 vomer, frontal, mandible, and occipital. Well, thank you, Renee, for being able to count. The big circle on the side always makes me think of Mega Man at first. Big circle on the side. Oh, this thing? Yeah, you're right. It is very... Oh, and this... Actually, on real skulls, there's sort of this oval that happens. And that is called the temporal oval. Or at least that's what Robert Beverly Hale calls it. And it's kind of cool because when you're in a view like this, it's a really flat area of the skull. So when it's turned like this, you sort of get this flat silhouette or shape of the skull, which is kind of cool. And actually, if you look... Okay, this is totally cheating because I'm seeing my old skulls, but if you look, that flat area is from that temporal oval, in case you've ever been curious about that. I do like the Cyclops too. He's pretty cool. Oh, I turned my opacity way down. Because I don't really need that border thing. But I don't want to be cheating looking at my old ones, so. Like Sid. Yeah, he kind of looks like Sid from Ice Age or something. He's kind of goofy looking. Yes, the sloth. I like the sloth. Hey, that's an animated show I like. I don't know about this guy's teeth, but... That's a nice egg. Thank you. Thank you, Ren. Yeah, he's just an egg in a box. That's all drawing is, just drawing eggs in boxes. Wait, did I name the sphenoid bone? I didn't name the sphenoid bone. Renee, I think we counted wrong. That's the one. The sphenoid. How could I forget the sphenoid? It's right here. And it runs like inside like that. How could I forget the sphenoid bone? Well, I didn't forget to draw it, but I did forget to name it. Oh well, I'm glad we cleared that up. 9 half doubles and 4 single. Okay, I don't want to think about it anymore. Oh well. I'm satisfied with what I was able to remember, I guess. Is what I'll go with. The mystery must be solved. I'm afraid of solving this mystery. God, I think I'm just being an idiot. Okay. We have let's do this together, Renee. All right, let's figure this out. You have 2 zygomatic. You have 2 maxilla. That's 4. You have 1 mandible. That's 5. 2 nasal, 6, 7, 1 frontal, 8, 2 temporal, that's 10, 1 occipital, 11, 2 parietal, 12, 13, 2 lacrimal, 14, 15, 2 ethmoid, which maybe there's just 1 ethmoid. I think I said 14. God damn it. Okay. Okay, 15, 16, it's not 16, the number 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and that's 22. Sphenoid is 22. Yeah. Only 1 ethmoid. Just 1. And it's just a big old box. I think it's just a big old box. I will never forget that. Because that's embarrassing for me. So, I guess we all learned something, right? Alright, 1 ethmoid. Thank you, Renee, for checking. Alright, let's get back to this weird guy. And I don't care about his teeth. They're just going to be weird shaped. And he's going to look really weird. So there's a goofy skull, but that was pretty quick. I mean, it's easy to throw that together. So if I'm able to think in these terms of the front view, side view, top view, underside view, back view, if I'm able to think in all of those terms, theoretically you should be able to draw an egg in a box, just like that. So I think next week, maybe what I start doing is this. Lots and lots of this. Lots of eggs in boxes. And that'll sort of be my goal, I think. Is it the first time that you draw it from this perspective? I mean, kinda. I mean, I mess around drawing skulls a lot, but it's not like I studied this exact angle. And theoretically, I should be able to draw it from any angle, although that seems very difficult. Like if we did something. No, I'm not doing that. That's too crazy. It's like an extreme under view like this would be like stupidly hard for me. Because I don't know what in the hell happens to the... Yeah, I don't even want to do that. I don't want to do that. All right, so I guess the titles for the next book, Eggs in Boxes by Daniel. I think, yeah, Eggs in Boxes. All right, let me get my replica and then we'll kind of compare. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but it looks like... And if you guys see anything that looks super wrong, feel free to tell me. But not that I think it needs to be absolutely perfect, but if you compare the front view, and it's lagging behind, so I don't know if I'm on the screen yet, but comparing the front view with my front view, it's not that bad. Cheekbones are a bit big. Teeth are a little wide. Jawbone's a little low. But overall, I don't think that's too bad. Oh, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's not too bad. Side view, I don't think that's going to be as good. Or as close. I don't know how to hold this in a way that you can see it. Side view. Oh, is that... That's backwards. Right? This is hard. This is hard to stream and do this. There you go. Okay, comparing the side view. Nasal bone is a little too front forward. That's weird. Why did I do that? Oh, God, you can't see it. Okay, there you go. So the nasal bone's kind of weird. Teeth are kind of weird. I don't know. It's not awful. The Zygomatic isn't too bad. The connection of the mandible and the skull is a little strange. I think I made the mandible connection point a little too thick. But, you know, maybe some people have larger mandibles. But it's still good to compare to something real. The occipital bone is not bad. And the shape of the cranium, that's not so great. So that should really be a little bit bigger back here. Not quite that much. And everybody's skulls sort of differ in shape, but I knew that looked weird. Well, I don't know if that looks right. I don't know. I think they just all differ a lot. The replica has kind of the egg shape. Yeah. You see the squiggles? Yeah, if you... oh, yeah. So, if you've ever wondered, this is the coronal suture. That's what that squiggle is called, because it runs coronally. Is that a word? It runs along the coronal plane, and then the sagittal suture runs along the sagittal plane. And then I don't know which one this one is called. I'm not sure why. Occipital suture, I don't know. But I feel cool for learning that those are called the coronal suture and the sagittal suture. And did you know that it does not, the bones of the head do not fully close, at least right here. They don't fully close until you're about 30 or 40 years old. I had no idea. So I thought that's weird that my head may not be completely closed yet, which is kind of strange. But yeah, it's kind of shaped like an egg, right? I don't know how close it is to my head, but... Oh, and in case you want to check my drawing against this thing, see, it's not that far off. This is the foramen magnum, and then the occipital condyles, and then a bunch of other stuff that I don't know what's going on. But you see how confusing that is? That's why I couldn't draw it, in case you were wondering. But this is the vomer bone, and then this is part of the sphenoid bone that runs all the way through the whole skull. But anyway, this isn't an anatomy lesson. But it is kind of cool to learn this stuff, because I would never learn it otherwise, I don't think. But it's kind of interesting. I guess that's it. I think that's about all. Today was fun. Thank you, everyone, for coming and asking questions and hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you next week, and I think I'll just try to do a lot of different eggs in boxes, a lot of different angles, and see what happens. That sounds really scary to me, so that's probably what I should do. So, oh, wait, Ryan says it's pronounced foramen. So, foramen, it's not foramen, it's foramen. Okay, I'll try to do that right next time. I'm sure I got a bunch of pronunciation wrong on this, but oh well. Goodbye, everyone. See you next week.